Happy holidays. Happy holidays. The holidays are here. Gosh, sooner or later? Sooner. It'll be 2026 and excited about that. But holidays, hashtag local. Merry Christmas, hashtag local. And gosh, you've seen all our posts. We're very active. Bands and Clubs in the Triangle, ncbandsandclubs.com. And a lot going on. Of course, the local music scene is so exciting and so full of events. You know, weekly we are involved in, usually it's 300 plus easy, 300 plus music events every week. Yes, that could be from an open mic, a karaoke, but live music, so hundreds and hundreds are happening weekly in the Triangle. Maybe a little bit less maybe when the weather's not as great as that we can have outdoor, indoor. But gosh, we get a blessing. It's really only, it feels like only about 4 months the weather affects the Triangle, Raleigh area, North Carolina. Such a blessing, the greatest state to live in. I'm LT, the founder of Bands and Clubs, and this is about hashtag local holidays. And shopping has begun, and just some on purpose, and some didn't work out perfect. But we're so excited to have a couple of presents that are available for staying local and feeling our passion of local music. So let's mention a couple of them. This hasn't mentioned a lot, but going into 2026, it's the 15th anniversary of Bands and Clubs of the Triangle. Almost 13,000, should be 13,000, maybe as we speak, 13,000 followers, main page, Facebook for Bands and Clubs of the Triangle. Thank you, 13,000 of you. But gosh, we've glad, I like the design, but here it is. And trying, but mirror reflection, backwards, frontwards. But yes, 2026, our 15th anniversary. And I've always wanted to do a coffee mug, a hot chocolate mug, something hot, a little soup in there, maybe so. But ran across, I hope was somewhat a deal, but on these, and I think 35 of them was in an order. And I think we've, again, we're pushing these some, haven't, but here's the big push, $15, a gift to someone who enjoys local music. And certainly it helps Bands and Clubs of the Triangle and all our mission of dollars to give back. But we're on a big money fundraising pitch right now to officially in 26 application, state, federal, to become an official 501c3 nonprofit tax deductible dollars. We're at the lower phase in North Carolina of a nonprofit, but you need to be here, 501c3. To be fully tax deductible. That's $15. How do you hook up to that? And yes, we will try to meet you halfway. Delivery, we are all about our volunteers traveling across the Triangle, but Tracy and I will help to make it happen. $15 for that coffee mug. You can initiate that conversation and that payment at Local Music. Send us an email at localmusic@bandsandclubsofthetriangle.com. Yeah, spell all that out. Localmusic@bandsandclubsofthetriangle.com. And in the notes section or in the email, just reference the coffee mug, and we'll certainly answer that. And our ongoing campaign is there, and I like saying this because it's pretty easy for us. Our ongoing campaign of a lot of dollars for a variety of reasons, but our fundraising effort as described for the 501 C3 level in North Carolina. But there's a GoFundMe. It's in our featured section on Bands and Clubs of the Triangle, our Facebook presence. It's in the featured section. You can initiate that $15 just through the GoFundMe. They don't keep a lot. This keeps cents. It works out well, GoFundMe. So you can initiate that comment notes section of that. You can reference. This is for a mug. This is for a mug. All right, that's the mug. Okay, back to, we hope you have heard, certainly our calendar for 2026 is out there. Gosh, I always wanted to do a coffee mug. I always wanted to do a calendar. I'm doing pretty good right now. I'm getting some things accomplished that I've wanted to do for years. So here's a local music calendar And it starts in December. You get a bonus month, but only if you buy quick. January, that December of 25 doesn't do you any good. But thank you to these bands that are on our calendar. Thank you to these local bands that bought into our calendar to help us make it a fundraising effort. Let me name them, but thank you. The Switch, Electric Carnival, Stone Age Romeos, Janice and the Crew, Southgate 40, Stealing Tonight, Rad OG, that was Rad OG, the Local Vocals Karaoke Band, Kings of the Highway, Against the Odds, Trippin' Breakers Band, and Skin Tight. So there we are. I just named 12 bands supporting our calendar. And whatever month it is, it just opens up to, it's actually our house band for 25. Stealing Tonight, the feature band in July of 26. And just random, I'm not even looking at it, right? Who's getting the double plug? But all right, Skin Tight has May. But yeah, we're proud of the pictures, proud of the layout. This was Landmark Printing, getting to know them better, of course. Woo, it took us months. And I'm not very good, but they got months of communication and so forth. So I think is that Tim? Landmark Printing in Raleigh. So glad to be partnering with them and putting up. We did pay for it. But now with fundraising efforts, and thank you to the bands that helped us break even so that we could make it a fundraising event. We talked about the coffee mug. We talked about the calendar. Same situation. You can start that by an email to local music, $10 for the calendar, local music at bandsandclubsofthetriangle.com. That's an easy one. Again, we can meet. We're at bars. We'll communicate by email where we can drop it off or where you can meet us. $10. $15, we can easily mail it to you. That covers the postage, a little bit of our time just in relationship to pulling that together. But $10 in person or connecting with you for the calendar. $15, we can mail it to you, and you can initiate that at the email localmusic@bandsandclubsofthetriangle.com. All right, that's two. Let's talk about the, our timing is not for the initial order. It just takes time, printing and so forth, but it's out there. You could do IOU for Christmas for a local music enthusiast. We have teamed up with Casey and Company, basically Mike, Kimberly, Casey, great friends. And they've teamed up, or they came to us, had this idea, and they said, hey, we want bands and clubs to be a benefit of this. You're nonprofit, love local music, and trying to raise some funds, 501c3 status. But they came up with a t-shirt design, and right now they can fit 70 bands. Okay, not everybody's on there, but doing the best we can. And we'll do another edition. We have success here. We want to pump this good so we can do another t-shirt. But 70 bands made that t-shirt, that emblem, and so that's available. A t-shirt, and on the back between the shoulder blades, Bands and Clubs at a Triangle 15th anniversary or a logo. So that's exciting. All right, so the deal is black short sleeves, black only, short sleeves, all kinds of sizes, but your general, I guess it speaks to small, medium, large, extra large. That speaks to $22. There's the baseline, $22. And then up from extra large, it does increase. Now that post is being made a lot on Bands and Clubs of the Triangle. We're sharing that. And this makes sense. Casey and Company, Kimberly, there's a Venmo that you can connect, get your order in to start the production of those t-shirts. Initial delivery date for all that we put in, because we got to build the inventory. You help your costs doing that, building the orders and then doing it. But that initial delivery date is 2026, January the 15th. So you do want to get your orders in as quickly as possible as part of your planning through December. So we're excited about that. We're excited about that we can result in some of the great news, some dollars, a t-shirt, Casey and Company, Bands and Clubs of the Triangle. but we can have the good news from that. And what an awesome T-shirt to be behind, complimenting us, maybe our 15th anniversary, but in a small way between your shoulder blades. But the focal point front, the yes, with all the names, about 70 bands on that logo on the front of the shirt. And that'll be a conversation piece. And your local musician, your local musician follower, your band may be on there, but you're going out, it's a conversation piece talking about local music and saying, hey, let me tell you what you're missing. You're sitting on your sofa on the weekend. Get off that sofa, flip that sofa for local music, and tell me about this band, tell me about this band, all over the T-shirt. So I hope we did a great conversation piece about our awesome local music scene in North Carolina and in the Triangle. So there we are. We just capitalized on local gifts, a couple of things that we've got going on around this holiday season, Christmas. That is the calendar featuring 12 local bands, our volunteer team. You want to be a volunteer? Email us at localmusic@bandsandclubsofthetriangle.com. But let us know you'd like a calendar. We can mail it to you for $15, or we can easily meet you. Somebody can, $10. Localmusic@bandsandclubsofthetriangle.com. Excited to hold it up, the mug for our 15th anniversary, labeled per 2026. But start your morning off right with a cup of joe, cup of coffee, or whatever, juice in there. But coffee, and get your morning started with thinking about local music. Where are we going? Well, where are we going this weekend? Where are we going tonight to see that? So mug, calendar, and then the special T-shirt coming in collaboration with Casey and company. Thank you so much. Hey, like this, would you? Like this, share it, get it on your Facebook, your social media, and it helps our messaging go out. But again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas from Bands and Clubs of the Triangle, LT, TL, and our volunteer team. We do appreciate your support and pushing us forward in our push for local music, but also very right in front of us is our design to become a 501c3, totally tax deductible, and that'll help your dollars too, that you support us too. So, hey, thanks. Have a great Christmas.